Ciao raga, welcome back to Sun Tzu Secrets.
Here we are.
Again in English with an amazing roster of
Yeah.
guests today. As we promised, we gathered the captains of the three top teams in the World Cup. So let me welcome Mr. Richie, the captain of the world champions of England.
Come
Richie,
on.
yeah. Then we have Arvid that is joining us from Team Belgium that scored an amazing second place. Congratulations, Arvid.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And dear friend, Michele, you're always on the channel, so it feels like you're co-hosting the channel at this point. Captain Italy in third.
Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah. So this episode is going to be amazing. We're going to go through a full debrief of the tournament. We're going to get some behind the scenes, a little stories, and everything from the three captains. But before we do that, we just want to remind you that every single video we do needs to hit 100 likes. So put like, and most importantly, subscribe. So we are now reaching to not only the Italian community, but all the UK community, England, Wales, Scotland, and so far so forth.
And put like and subscribe also on the Day After Dark. That is the Richie channel. That is an amazing channel with a lot of content. So if you like Richie, if you like doors, go to Day After Dark.
And by the way, disclaimer: you cannot not like Richie.
Yeah,
so
it's impossible.
Like you gotta subscribe, and we learn from you, Richie, every single step of the way because we are the newcomers here. So, but before I have another disclaimer, before we jump right into it, remember, if you send an email to the email address that you will find in the slide, you will get 30% off if you put Sun Tzu Secrets in the subject of the email on every purchase made on
Workshop Lab
Miniatures, on all the Games Workshop assortment. Anything Warhammer 40k, Warhammer the Old World, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, even the Lord of the Rings. Like we are very democratic. We offer discounts for pretty much anything. So remember,
also Battlefleet Gothic.
If you find it on the catalog, you can.
And Warhammer Quest, which is happening now, Dark Waters, and all the good news from Games Workshop. So remember, send an email, put Sun Tzu Secrets in the subject, and you're gonna get that 30% off.
Okay.
That's it.
So we can start with the brief of this incredible tournament. It was a month ago, I think. It's past a month, but we are all discuss always about the matches because it was great. And so we start from the Italian ballerina, I think.
Let's start from the Italian ballerina. And I think we can start by just like sharing for all of you, like, how did you feel during the event? What did you like? How was the vibe? How was the experience, the location, like everything around the event itself, and then we can talk about the game. That's what we like.
Did you want to start,
Go
Mickey?
first?
Yeah.
Okay, the event was overall wonderful. I think that the worst thing is that we cannot play against more team than 5 because I was really upset that we didn't play against Poland, we didn't play against Spain, we didn't play against Sweden, we didn't play against I don't know. We miss also the Denmark that were doing very good. So we missed a lot of teams that I wanted to face. I wanted to know. I wanted to see them play. So it's the only pity is that 5 matches are so few for an event like that. So I would like to make 10, but it's impossible, of course. Venue is super nice. Prices were super nice. Guys were super nice. Referees and judge super nice.
Which I think is an important point,
Yep.
knowing how complicated in a certain way
Yep.
the old world is from a rulebook standpoint, the 1.5, all the compfax, FAQs, erratas, and all of that. So happy to hear that.
Also, another one as well is like the interpretations that obviously all the different countries had of those FAQs as well. Because just because one country thought it was played like this, some other countries misinterpreted or interpreted it in a different way, which I thought was really interesting, actually. We had a few conversations on that, didn't we, Mickey, over there?
Yep. Yeah. Everything was nice, indeed. Better the event than the days before, as I told before with you guys. But everything went good. I think that we made some error and we paid for them, but okay, it happens. And what about the other thing? The other thing that makes me upset is that we were playing against England at round 2.
Yeah, we didn't expect that. Not at all. Not at all.
We started the matches with our first matches against Switzerland, telling, "Okay, guys, go
Slow
easy,
down.
slow down, please. 19, 19, 19, 19, 17, 17, 17, 11. Okay,
England.
England.
Great.
It's a strange way to slow down.
Yeah. We are Italian. We are driven by our emotions, so it's quite normal by that. So everything was super fine indeed, better than we were expecting as a team for everything. I don't have anything else to do as a general anything else to say as a general approach by myself. In
Yeah, nice. Thank you, Mickey. Let's move on to. So I'm going to follow the order of the podium. I'm a former motorcycle racer, so I love the 3, 2, 1 order so that it makes it more like racing. So Arvid, it's your first time on our channel, so we're super happy. We hope that the Belgium community and the Benelux community will discover our channel, as well as Richie's channel that we After Dark. So we do somewhat different contents, so it's great to have more Warhammer contents. But thanks a lot for coming. How was your event? And congrats again on the second place.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the event was great. Actually, even the run towards the event, I would say. I mean, the spirit that it got inside the Belgian community was actually great. We have this Discord channel where everybody was like cheering us on, and during the weekend we were like sharing all these updates and stuff. But at the event itself, I think it was one of the best, if not the best, tournament that I've ever played so far, and I played quite a lot. So that tells something, I would say, not only on a level of organization, because I would say big shout out to Fred, the organizer of WTC, and all the judges and people who made it possible, but most especially the players, right? Because we knew that we were there as Team Belgium we wanted to win. Obviously, we played the online WTC a few weeks before, where we ended second. So we were actually there to win. Our first round was against Poland, which was or is one of the, as we considered, better teams or stronger teams with stronger lists. Contrary to Italy, for example, who started against Switzerland, for us, I think starting against a very strong team is actually some sort of a nice surprise, because either you do well and you already play out a very strong team out of the race, basically, or you don't do that well and you have the opportunity to be that legendary submarine, right, and start from a lower position. So that is actually what happened. I mean, we did win our first round, but we're lucky enough not to face England or Italy, for example, on the first day. So our first day was quite a little bit more relaxed, so to speak. And then the second day for us was all in, because we started with Italy and then had England, obviously, in the finals. And I think that is also one of the things that made the tournament for us so nice and so legendary, was the the sportsmanship that was all around that. I think both our game against Italy, for example, and I know Italian players are known to be very passionate when they are playing the game, well, when they're doing anything, I would say, but especially when playing Warhammer. But also the finals against England, right? I mean, if there is one game where you would expect things to get a little bit more tense, for example, it would be the finals of the WTC. I mean, if not there, where then, right? But I can honestly say, in my game against Tom, for example, but also the other games of the people in our team, everybody's like, wow, this was not a World Cup Warhammer. This was Warhammer in your local club or Warhammer around your kitchen table, right? It was super nice, a lot of fun, and that made that tournament for me personally so special.
That's awesome to hear. And by the way, for everybody who's watching, I think these three teams played against all themselves, right? So there was Italy, England, Italy, Belgium, Belgium, England. So, these three teams kind of clashed together. And it's so great to hear, because we might all remember certain other games or like other situations from the past where things were, when there are things at stake, things get obviously intense. But hey, guys, this is a hobby. It's an amazing hobby, but still is a hobby. So we all want everybody to enjoy. And from what I could hear in the US, in Italy with the Federation, and now from you, Arvid, as well, during the Melee WTC, the community is so healthy, and the energy around the games, even in a competitive environment, is so good that just like excites everybody. And that's why the old world is such in a great shape and place. And by the way, don't forget to check out our video where I was interviewing Richard, sorry, so that we don't confuse, Richard Manklow, who ran the LGT, the London GT for the Old World. He said the same. It was a beautiful event, and this game is growing so much. So we hope the GW will not forget about us.
And I think also Michele can say about the Italian GT that finished 2 days ago. All the people that that text to me says that it was a great event, great sportsmanship, great fun. Never argue about that.
I think it's the first time that an Italian final went so smooth, so easygoing, no discussion.
Yeah,
I think less than 10 judge call in the whole tournament.
Fantastic. It's incredible.
That's what we want to hear. Yeah. So, Mr. World Champion, Richie, what's your take? What's your take on all of this?
I mean, they've kind of said it all right. Like, it was just a brilliant weekend. Just Fred did an amazing job. Like, the venue was stunning as well. Although I will say, so I walked to the venue from the train station, right? And as I was walking over this bridge, I just saw the little toucan sign. And I was like, are we staying where there's a toucan? It looked like an American motel, you know what I mean? Yeah. Walk around the corner, I'm like, oh, it's actually really nice. Yeah, like stunning venue, like really well organized. It was probably one of my favorite events I've ever been to. And like Arvid said, like I've been to quite a lot. So to say that is quite a big deal. Like, just really loved it. All of the teams are amazing. One of the biggest takeaways that I have about the Old World community compared to other games that I've played is you're not just playing like hyper competitively, you're playing against your friends. Like, I talk to these guys like outside, like I talk to these guys in my messages, do you know what I mean? Like, these are my friends, and it's just really nice that you can play these really competitive games where everything's on stake. Like, you're playing for the final and then you can come out of it and you're still friends and you still want to organize to play against each other again, and you're like going over those games. And I think that's so important for it, and being able to represent your country as well is just absolutely amazing. It was a brilliant event. I can't really say anything else that these two gentlemen haven't said. So yeah, it was just an amazing weekend, really well run. Just thanks to everyone for running it, and also thanks to everyone we got to meet there as well. It was just a brilliant time. We had a great time.
I think it is important also for forge a war community, because if all the players and all the guys that play each other have a good time, it's important for the future of the game. I see Michele is good.
No. It's something like we are working on that.
Yeah. I think it is important. It's the best part to be friend with your opponent, I think. But it's my opinion.
Yeah.
It also, maybe to add to that, I also feel that the old world community in general is actually quite close on an international level, because it is a new game and the community started small and everybody was immediately jumping in, like the Discord of like Warhol, for example, or the Square based Discord, or what have you, these kind of things. So a lot of the people that I, for example, saw at WTC, I had no idea who they were until I saw the name on the T-shirt, and oh, you're that guy, right? So it feels like a little. It was almost like a little family reunion, like
Yeah.
an old, like a high school reunion. Well, Richie, everybody knows, of course, thanks to you too. But apart from that, it's not the case for all players, right? So that was an amazing element of it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. It was just kind of walking around and it's like, oh, you're Anubis. Oh, you're CGM. No, it was just awesome.
Exactly,
Just
yeah.
like meeting everyone for the first time, because you know everybody's Discord handles. And it's like you said, it's such a small community. Everybody kind of knows everyone. So it's just really nice to put those names to faces. And hopefully it just keeps expanding and we keep seeing more people, not just at the world's level, but hopefully more with international tournaments. I know obviously there's some of that coming, Mickey. So, but yeah, it'd be really nice if we can just expand that and just keep it going. It's awesome to see.
Great. Yeah. Great. So after this first part of, let's say, general debrief, I think everybody who's watching is like, what did happen during this tournament? And I think we can start from just reminding everybody the list, and I think Michele or kind of already said that before, like. There were some interesting turn of events on day one when already in the second game Italy faced England. So, and we were doing some kind of coverage, or in the groups we were like, "Oh my God, Italy's already against England," and everybody was like, "I think it's a deciding game." Like right into the tournament, it's almost like, if Italy tables England or England tables Italy, well, I guess one of the two contenders is already out. And then it turned out to be quite a drawish game. So why don't we start from that, just in order, like in timeline order? So I'm just gonna pull the list here. Because I want to say that for everybody who watched our show before, we were like going through the list, and I think we can testify because everything is on the internet. We were saying we have a feeling that Italy, England, Belgium, then we said Germany, and Poland, and I was saying US, but we're gonna talk about that at the end because I know Italy faced US. Were like the candidate to, like, let's say the crown. So why don't we just talk about quickly from the two perspective, how was that big game? Like, Mickey, Richie, how was it? Like it turned out to be almost a draw, but like tell us a little bit, because I think there's a lot more, because there was a lot of pressure, I'm sure, about that game, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like from my point of view, like it was just really fun Warhammer. Like I had a really, really good game against Ricardo. Like we just had a fun game. So we kind of just like took ourselves out of the tournament almost and just had a super fun one. I made him work for every point he got. He got a little bit stressed during it. I got a little bit stressed during it, but we had a really tight, really precise game of Warhammer. He's a really good player, by the way. I really enjoyed that game. And everybody else, I feel we give you a good run, to be fair. Like we made it hard for you, you made it hard for us. Just beautiful international Warhammer. Everything was super precise. Just a great round. We just managed to pip it in the end. Obviously, it was only by 3 points. It was the same that we lost to you guys last time in Italy. So I was happy to get that. So we'll have to see how that goes in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, no, it's super tight. A couple of the games went a lot worse than expected. My game, for instance, I've got my full shooting X-Force list. I only managed to do 1 wound in my first 2 turns of shooting, which statistically probably shouldn't happen. So that kind of just it's dice, right? Like it happens. So that didn't go as well, but then some of the other games went a lot better. What about for you, man?
Indeed, I made a big mistake during pairings, and as I told before to Italian people, I took the full responsibility for that. Uh, it was a game that should finish 5 points for us, 5 points for you, in my calculation.
There was
Due
like
to
a range.
due to dices or other happenings during the matches, but was really 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 close, and it's not difficult to say that every result between +5, -5 was correct in my opinion. But I have to make an appointment on your match, because Ricardo came to me and said, Richie is a very good player, but his best is with the calm that he plays when he lost something. I breathed with my dragon on an hero of him, wounding him at 5 or plus, and he had to lost 2 wounds without an armor save, and he lost around I don't know 200 points with a single dice roll that is unbelievable, and he was super calm and said, "Oh, it's fun." I think that you totally shocked Ricardo, because he used to play against people that is always complaining about dice. Okay, because in Italy we always complain about dice. In Rome we should be complain about dice the double of the rest of Italy, and Ricardo is from Rome. So he was shocked. At the end of the game, he said to me, I don't know. How can he play like that? So it's a medal on your honor for that.
Well, no, I'll definitely take that. He's a great opponent. I really enjoyed that game. For me, it's like I traditionally roll really badly, so it's just how I roll.
That's how we are captain,
Yeah, you can't get too stressed about it. You can leave that for everyone else to get stressed, right?
Yeah, that's right. I love it. So, and I just got triggered about a little thing that Michele said. And I love like the clash between the Italian like reaction and the posture and the fairness in the reaction from Richie. I think Arvid, when I played Maurizio from your team,
Correct.
and when he killed my chicken behind the hill with the fourth hit on the indirect shot of the Doom Divers, I think I lost it at some point. I was like, "Ma non è possibile! But what's happening? It's like it's impossible! Come on! Why do you
Andrea
die?"
told
I'm
about
dying.
that
You
game
were actually,
as
because that was the
a lot, because he say it's impossible, this Doom Diver shoot all the hill, it's impossible.
It's outrageous that I
It's
lost
going on for a week with this. With this
that was actually it was the WTC online, right? And we were
Yes.
when that game, everybody was watching. I think it was during the evening for us, so like everybody
Yeah.
was watching. We were all in the WhatsApp group, and like I think you took like 3 wounds or 4 wounds in the first turn, and then another.
Yeah.
Like you survived 2 or 3, but it was terrible. And we were even saying, "Wow, he's Italian, but he's staying quite calm, right?" Because it took you until the moment where he actually died to like start and freaking
Yeah.
out a little bit.
I was
So
like, no,
we
now
expected it
it's
way early.
no. And then I was like, okay, that's too much for me. So I love that. But as I said, like I got triggered about Nikki. You said you made a mistake in the pairing.
Yeah. Of course.
And here I'm sharing the screen for everybody. So these are the games that
Yeah.
went on between England and Italy, and we can do the
Yeah.
same for England, Belgium. So I really love to kind of relive this moment between the games. So Mickey, what do you think you made? What is the mistake that you think you made?
Okay.
It's the final pairing.
Yeah. The mistake is that when we made the final pairing, I was convinced by myself. I think that last 2 matches goes on a 4 or plus, because in the start of the ETC, I spoke around 2007, 2008, or something like that. You made 3 launches, and then you have 2 discarded player resting by themselves. Okay, and you how can I say pair them
On a
by
5.
with a 4 plus. Okay,
Yeah, on a dice roll. Yeah.
Bear in
And-
mind, at this point, he's doing this, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, definitely." And I was like, "Okay."
and I was super sure of that. But
I like that.
yeah, because obviously I took a die, I rolled, I had to. The correct result was 1, 2, 3 to have a good pairing for us, and I rolled 4, I think.
For the first time in your life, you rolled the 4 plus in.
It's wrong, of course, it's wrong, of course. And I think that without this mistake of interpretation of the rules, because I honestly I didn't read the pairings part of the rules, because I was super convinced that was just the same it was 20 years ago. Okay,
Yeah. No, I get it.
I totally
Yeah.
miss that part, and without that thing that was Richie against Riccardo and
Yes.
Daniele against Grandpa.
Okay. Which is
It's
Scott, I understand.
yeah, it's the
Yeah. So it was basically, for everybody
Yeah.
watching, was TK versus CT Nuln and Dwarfs,
Against Nuln.
Richie's Expeditionary Force versus TK. So I
Because-
think that was
yeah.
what you were trying to fix.
Yeah, because in my idea, I don't know if Richie agreed. It's a better match for us to have Naln against Richie and Riccardo with the Camry Monster Smash against the Cambrian. I don't know. There is
Yeah,
a
no,
name for that kind of
I think
Royal Host.
of list, because we say
Royal Host.
no, not Royal Host. We say in Italian
blob.
slang is padelle inchiavabili. I don't know how can you call them,
unfuckable unit is, I think.
Yeah, maybe yes, which means like for everybody watching who doesn't get the slang, means like it's a very tough block of units, which is tougher to break, and
It's
with
impossible to break, I think.
with the list of monster mash with 2 necrosphinxes and 2 dragons, which I believe was Riccardo's list.
Yeah.
There was kind of a shot in order to just like point click and focus the charges. That's what I'm getting from Miki. Richie,
But-
what do you
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. Like my game with Ricardo was super dicey. Like we've practiced that game quite a lot of times with different dice rolls. It's quite bad for the Camry to get shot so much. So that could have gone a lot worse the other way. So the fact that did end up with me losing, that was quite a good result on your side as well, I think. But yeah, 100%. Like Nolan into the Camry, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah. So and in fact,
But anyway, I think that also with that change, the final result of the game stays in the range I said before, -5 +5 for one team or another, because it's super close indeed.
And allow me another question, because I'm very interested, being a Cathay player myself. Tom played against Bruce, Andrea Bralla, and Andrea was bringing Vampire Counts. And of course, Tom, we know, was bringing Cathay. So 16-4, I don't know if the scenario and the secondary missions helped to solidify that. And for sure, I'm also like not the best player in the world for Cathay. So I've had in the past a lot of issues in going past a 12, 13 versus Vampire Counts. I just scored a 10-10 against the player from my Warhol German comp tournament on Warhol. He did save great, and he got very lucky. But even without that, and it's German comps, so it's different. But like usually, it's tough to me. It's usually like something needs to happen for that match to go that well for Cathay. Maybe I'm wrong. So Richie, what would you say?
So I kind of have different experience personally with Cathay. I mean, we play slightly differently over here. So like we go like danger close with everything. You want to get all of the bombs off. You want to get all the iron hail, everything going. Get like the grenades getting thrown out, all of that stuff. And it's focusing down on one unit. So like obviously in this comp we were only allowed 2 balloons. Obviously if you're allowed 3, you just put 3 balloons into one unit, blast it, fire cannons at that one, and just focus down on what needs killing. So if it's Graveguard, you put all of the 3 balloons into the Graveguard. They can't really do anything. And the good thing about Tom's list as well is kind of spec'd a little bit into playing undead. So obviously it had Mao Ying in it. She has magical attack, so if she gets charged with like Hex Wraiths or Banshees or anything like that, she can deal with them. And she's really good for that as well. So I think that's pretty much what it was. It's just basically using the strengths in the list, so using those magical attacks, which Cathay doesn't really have a lot of outside of the Shugs, right? So if you're not taking the double bonk, then you probably want to take Mao Ying, but it really depends what you want to do. I know people are kind of on the fence with her, but I think she's quite good. Like you wouldn't sniff at her in any other army, would you? I mean, if there was something equivalent in the dwarf army, I'd probably take it, right? Like a golem or something. Of course. Yeah, but yeah, it's just kind of focus firing really, and just kind of breaking it down. Yeah, like Tom said, that was a super tough game though. Obviously, like Italy's a really, really good team. But yeah, as long as you can focus stuff down and try and get those points, killing the general really helps when you're playing into undead as well. So if you can do that, you can really break through them.
Yeah, correct. And Miki, what's your thought process? Because I'm pretty sure you guys rehearsed the matrices and you tried the pairings, of course, against England, knowing it was a top opponent. So how was that match on paper for you? Did you get what you were expecting, or you thought that Bruce, Andrea could have performed a little bit better against Tom? I'm interested in seeing both sides, because I think that's what everyone from home really wants to see. It's like the thought process of A and B, and be like, I think it's good, I think it's bad, then it's good, then it's bad.
Okay, the problem is that Andrea, it's very cautious when he gives his mark for the matrices. Okay, so and that's it's a super wide problem in Italy. So when I see the matrices, we are always the underdog by far. Okay,
all the time.
All the time. And furthermore, Andrea puts marks 10 minutes before the match against England, because he forgot just to put the marks on one team, England. I was about to kill him with a knife. Very close to kill him with a knife.
And he's not joking, by the way.
No, not joking at all. I got a knife in my pocket every time, just to be sure. And the thing is that I know that was not a good match. I was hoping for 8 points from that match.
Okay.
I think that the key moments of the match was Andrea not starting and losing in the first turn one Terrorgeist, and losing in the second turn another Terrorgeist.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's bad. Yeah.
If Cannon goes good and you're not starting, it's very tough match. The third moment, indeed, is one of the balloon surviving with one wound left from Scream. So I say 8 was what I was expecting from Andrea. He brings a 4. I'm not happy for that, but I know that was starting. A very tough match, and starting down. Also because in Italy, no one plays Katai with Miao Ying.
Yeah, and this is something that Richie, remember, we discussed in the interview with Captains with you. because I am also, I'm being Italian, live in New York, but like I'm still Italian in the mindset, and I'm also like either on the double magistrate or the double shuglord or
I remember Tom that says, "Miao Ying, do something good, good things on the battlefield." So we bring in.
Yeah. So he was.
But if you bring something that nobody knows, that's also a piece of tech, right? I mean, I remember in our last round, for Belgium, I'm the vampire counts player, and I had to face Tom, so I had to face Kate again. We looked at the list, even though we saw them a gazillion times, and literally before the match, I had to go to the toilets and read what Miao Ying actually did, right? Because I see her such few times, right? And I just, what does she actually do? So
Yeah, that's it.
That's also a problem in Italian mindset. Named character are not for tournament in Italian mindset.
Yes.
Because we came from 6th and 7th mostly, and no named character were allowed at that time. Now we are allowing them because the world is allowing them. But in my opinion, named character are a difficult entry to work with because they always have custom rules, custom things. They broke something in the mechanics of the game, more or less. So they are very, 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 how can I say, they are moving the balances in the game. For example, if you think about the umpire general that gives you +1 to start or -1 to start, it's
the mustache guy.
We had him in our list for 2 months, and then we choose not to bring him, but we choose that just because we made some calculation around this kind of ability that was not worth for the 190 points that that model costs. But it's super difficult to work with this kind of thing because they are really unique and they really broke the rules of the game sometimes. Just think about Miao Ying that she can run away around 27 inches from their her starting point. That is kind of nonsense for normal play because unless you have arcane urgency, you cannot do that.
No, definitely. That's a great point, and that was interesting to see that that explanation from both sides. So I think now we can go into the spicy, and so we can have Richie relax a second because I think the next big game before we prepare for Belgium England, which we're gonna finish up with, it's going to be Belgium Italy, which I think, Mickey, that's what kind of doomed Italy for the tournament. So it ended up being a sounding victory for Belgium, 98-62. So you didn't cap Italy, which I know it's always like, if I have to lose, I don't want to get maxed out. But certainly was a blow to Italy. So Arvid, how were you guys able to nail this? Like, tell us a little bit about the process, pairing. What do you think about the games you had, and some highlights?
Well, we were definitely stressed, right? I mean, obviously, we know that Italy is a good team. Last year in the, let's call it unofficial WTC, or like the first non-Clash of Nations, we played against both Italian teams, Quadrifoglio and Ludic, I think are the teams that were there at that point. So we know that this was going to be a tough match, and we also knew that we had to win, and we had to win big if we still wanted a chance at the title, right? Because in the first day we had Poland and Spain in the first 2 matches, and then we lost closely in the third round against Denmark. So we needed this win, and we needed it big. And I promised it to Richie because I think since the first round, every time we saw him, I was like, "We're gonna get you. We're coming for you guys." So I mean, we had to do it, right? And when we went into the pairing in Italy, and I see you pulled him up here as well, we actually felt quite confident based on our ratings in the rounds. The thing that we did in this match that we actually did all tournament was our captain, because I'm actually the vice or the co-captain for Belgium. Our captain is CGM, but his wife is about to pop to get his first baby, so that's why I am here. But his strategy was basically we start with Arvid with my VC list. Because with VC it's very hard to lose, right? It's very hard to get a bad matchup. I think one of the worst matchups that I can have is Kate, and it's very drawy, and that is what happened here. So we opened with my list, and I ended up against Federico with Kate, who is an amazing player, by the way. I think I played against him last year as well, actually. So I mean, we go way back, but in any case, it was a great match. One that I actually believed I would win, but he was super smart, and actually it ended up in a draw because we were playing the matchup with what's it called, the location in the middle, the objective that you have to capture in the middle, and he was actually, due to how he played with the balloons, to keep me in my deployment zone, basically not get to the middle, and therefore he scored it. I think I took some points here and there with some jump screams that you do with the dark magic teleport on the flying banshee, and that basically gives you a 30-inch scream, which is basically the meowing version of vampire counts that we were just talking about. So it ended up in a 10-10. But if you look at some other matches, we felt very confident. For example, you can see Andrea against Pierre, our CGM, our Bretonian player. He actually teched into building vampire because or fighting vampires, because he brought Banner of the Lady's Grace in his list. So basically, his Pegasus star was immune to Scream. So that's a matchup, obviously, that we really wanted to see. We had, like I said, my Kate matchup is something we trained a lot as well. I had actually, before the tournament, some trainings where I assumed that my Mortis engine would die. So the Mortis was not a general, but I took away the Mortis engine in turn 2 or 3 and see how can I play without the Mortis in the remaining 3 turns. So these were 2 matches that we were confident in. We had our Kate into your Tomb Kings, if I remember, into Ricardo, which is also one that we felt good about because it's the Ricardo brought, if I remember it correctly, the Monster Mash list, which is a better matchup for Kate than the Beauchaptis, for example, is way harder for Kate to deal with. So those are the matches now that I mainly remember. The Beastman against our TK was actually also a good one. I don't know if Mickey.
Yeah, and I'm showing everybody who's watching like the list while Arvid, you were talking about it. So yeah, the TK was like a Monster Mash, and then Arthur had the list with the double character on balloon, a double general, and then of course 3 cannons with loader. So there was certainly, I would say from the outside, certainly good pairings. I think that's the one that caught my eye more. It's like, that's really a game you want to step into. And then I'm also seeing the 17-3 against the Beastman from Yannick, who's running the Empire with 3 cannons. I think
he's going with Wolf of the Sea.
Wolf of the Sea.
Yeah, which is here, and I'm showing this. So, Mickey, what on your side? Like, do you feel like something also got complicated in terms of pairing? Like, did you maybe evaluated certain matches differently? Like, what's your take?
I totally agree with the vision of Arvid. I mean, I sacrificed Andrea on Pierre because they already played against, and I said to Andrea, lose the less you can. I was expecting once again something more from him, but I know shit happens in some kind of match. I cannot ask him so more, but it's good. Problems were around the pairing from Stormy that went against Ricardo. because I was about to pair Stormy against the other Ricardo, the Camry one, and we were able to do so because we choose the to take Stormy with our Warrior of Chaos. Okay, but we were able to choose also to bring him against Camry. But Ricardo said to me, "I don't like the pairings with Umpire," and I was not thinking about that he was going against Katai instead. So another mistake from me, of course, and I think that this is the part that we should change with our ability. For the rest, I think that pairing the Beastman with Ushabti bows is good if this thing permit me to pair orcs against dwarfs, because the motto is 20-0 right on the stone, more or less, carved in stone, that match. I think that Ushabti against Beasties is a very tough match for Beasties, but is a match that if Ushabti doesn't roll everything really in media, in complete average, is going to be, how can I say, a castle of glass, okay? I played the same list the last weekend. I played against a beast. We played 4 turn, and I was totally engaged with beasties at turn 4, and we draw because we didn't have the possibility to make round 5 and 6. But it's really a castle of glass, that kind of list. And Beastman can put so many menace on the field that sometimes a bad thing to Ushapti bows can happen. It's a match that normally is good for Ushapti bows, but is not always so good. It's a very dicey game, in my opinion. I think that we lose important point in Matteo against your Chaos Warrior. That is a match that Matteo normally wins 15 plus super easy. He played a lot, and I think that we three can agree that double Dragon, double Phoenix is a very tough match for double or triple Dragon from Chaos. And last but not least, Federico made not an enthusiastic match against you, Arvid, because he started first, and he had the +1 automatically against you, and he chooses by himself to go first in a match where there are around 1,200 points for final displacement. I was about to kill him with a knife, part 2. when he said I start, I look at him like, what the fuck are you doing, mate? Please stop. Then he said to me, when we took the timeout, he said to me, I will block him. And I said, you are not going to block anyone, because if a vampire count wants to
Move,
put himself somewhere in the last turn without the buyback of the retaliation from your army, is going to do everything he wants to do. And that's what happened, because at round 6 of Federico, he was up of 800 points, and at round 6 of you were drawing with Federico plus 150, if I can recall correctly. So I think that he made a huge mistake for that. But
and guys, I just want to say one thing, because to me, listening to all three of you giving these debriefs, the level of thinking to me is like I'm learning a lot. And this, for everybody watching from home, again, wannabes that want to be in the Italian, like sorry, not in the in the world team championship, or like in the national teams, or who wants to tackle Warhammer more competitively. This is like a golden opportunity to understand the fundamental difference between playing competitive and playing competitive at a high level. So, like, for example, it's counterintuitive for anybody listening deciding not to go first with Cathay. So what Mickey said about, well, you actually should indeed go second, because that's when you can score more points, provided that the other one doesn't have, like, war machines to shoot your cannons dead or anything like it. It's like that was a mistake. And guys, this is also how much training, trying the pairings, trying the matches, evaluating different builds and testing against them is so important. Because, like, I'm hearing from Richie, like, we did test this game a lot. We knew what to do. Tom knew what to do with against the vampire counts. I was like, okay, that's great. I mean, it means like you come to the table and you kind of are on autopilot, knowing that dice can happen. The other guy can have brilliant counters to your moves, but like, you know what you're doing even before you deploy your first piece on the table, right? So
I think a really interesting one as well is with Team Warhammer compared to going into singles. Obviously, in singles, you want to win all of your games, right? Because if you don't win, you're not going to win the event. Whereas we're going into this, you've practiced, you know exactly what your score is going to be. And if your score that you need to get is a 7 points, then that's what you go for. Like when we played into Belgium, Arvid, with Tom playing into you, he was we wanted him to get an 8. And he got an 8 against you. So that is exactly that's as good as somebody who's meant to be getting a 20, getting a 20. And that's something that you really need to kind of get your head around with these kind of games. There are games that you cannot win. You physically cannot win. So you just need to get the points that you have said that you're going to get. And I don't know if any of you have watched my video that I did with Alex, where we broke down the results. And I think our variance was like 4% from what we predicted, which is crazy, really, out of all of the games. And I think I can imagine that your teams were probably very similar to that as well. And just being able to get those players that know exactly what they're going to score on that scenario, playing against that person, that is what lets you win these events or podium compared to those that for sure.
It's actually crazy. The World Championships are actually won before the World Championships when you're doing the matrices and everybody is doing his pairings. That's really because a bad pairing makes such a difference, right? If somebody really like estimates his chances against an army very wrong, and that goes in both directions, because underestimating, as Mickey earlier said, is also not a good thing, right? Because the captain then makes different decisions, even though you might have a good match there, but you said, oh, it's just gonna be like an 11. If you can do a 20, you should just write that down, not trying to overperform, right? Because it's really there that it is won, and that keeps surprising me. Actually, that is what makes team tournaments so interesting, right? This mini game of pairings before the game is so amazing. It's so much fun. I play team tournament every weekend if I could.
And I think one thing, and then I go to Michele. One thing that is very important is the victim in a team, because every team has a player that go with a wrong pairing, and Michele says to us in the brief on our channel that Alessandro Pucci goes with his role all the time, and the importance of that player that have 1, 2, 3, 4 points in that match, that is the worst match in the worst pairing, it's incredible. And that is for me the most incredible part of the tournament teams of teams. Go, Michele.
Yeah. If you say, for example, the high elf player from Team England, I don't think he won. Yeah, I don't think he won a single match in the World Tournament. Correct?
Let's look.
Correct, mate. And the interesting thing is, so he got voted the MVP for the tournament for Team England afterwards. We all voted. And the funniest thing, and James is probably one of our best players as well. But the fact that he managed to score 5 points consistently against Cathay with an army that shouldn't have got 5 points helped us win the event. And that's something that you really need to get your head around. It's like a lot of people are like, why aren't you putting the best players in to get these wins? And it's like, that is as important, if not more, than going after these big wins. Like that, brilliant result.
The thing I keep saying to my guys is that some people goes to the table with 10 points in their pockets and 10 points to do. And some other go at the table with 0 point in their pocket and 10 points to do.
To grab.
That's the difference when you pay for win and you pay to not lose so much. Yeah. When you take, for example, Alessandro was our victim, our slowest caribou, as I said. You know, the slowest
sacrifice the lamb. Yeah,
is the one that sacrificed himself in order to let the rest of the group to survive, of course. And he went against Charlie, that by myself, is my opinion, is the best player in the world of TOW at the moment. Okay, and he managed to take 5 points, if I can recall, and was about to take 6 or 7 because Charlie had 2 units or 1 unit of X-Rite, leaving with 1 model left and running away. So he managed to do something like that against a player of that level, against an army of that level, because Vampire Counts is a tier S, in my opinion, and Charlie is a tier Super Saiyan.
Is he blonde? He's also blonde.
Look at that. And it's super good in my opinion, okay? But it's really the difficult part to set up a team for an event like that is to find the 2-3 people that are going to lose a lot of match in the tournament. They do not have to discourage themselves. They do not have to lose their mind about that, because they are doing their fucking part. Because everyone in Italy we said everyone have to eat their part of shit. Okay, they are eating a little bit more, of course.
We have beautiful sayings in Italy.
Yeah. Wonderful way to say.
We're very colorful in the way we explain, but it's true. It's so true.
And so find that kind of player makes you the winning team, or at least the podium team.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. Yeah. And I think this segues really well into our round against Belgium, against you guys, Arvid, because obviously I got thrown under the bus in that round playing against Thomas with his Cathay. Now, I went into that game with 0 points in my mind. So basically our team manager, Alex, is running around and he's like, right, getting all the notes of how the round's go, and he's like, right, okay, you need to get me 2 points in this game. If you don't get me 2 points right now, we're going to lose the round. And I'm like, shit. But yeah, managed to get 4. So it's like when you can just try and scramble as many points as possible, it's so good for the round.
And here, starting from the top, it's like 84-76. So Richie, to your point, that's exactly what we're talking about. So, when you're table 1, decisive round. And just tell us a little bit before that, where you were like, let me look at the standings before this round. So England was first. So what did you guys needed to do in order to secure the win? And then we can hear from Arvid the Belgium perspective, because I think you were tied 2 points difference. Look at that.
Yeah. So we were really excited to play against Belgium. We obviously we knew they were coming for us beforehand, so we were super keen. Obviously, we'd won 4 rounds up to this point, so we just wanted to win. We wanted to go for that elusive 5-0, because if we won at all, then we would win. That's the thing, obviously. And then hopefully the gaps were starting to develop down below, right? So if we'd have won that round, we probably couldn't have get caught. So if we can win here, we can win a decisive victory. So that was basically what we were going for. We had practiced the pairings quite a bit into Belgium. We'd got all the matrices and stuff. We knew it was going to be a super tight round. We had actually predicted, obviously I did a video with Pierre separately as well, where we went through our entire round together. So if you do want to watch that, head over to the show. We break down everything in great detail. detail. But we had actually predicted a slightly less big win. Actually, obviously it's not a big win, but we thought it was going to be even closer than it was, because there was a couple of slightly bigger swings that we hadn't anticipated. It was just an amazing round. Like, really good. Like, I just want to just really point and stress the fact that this was the final, and it was just such good Warhammer. Like Arvid said earlier, it was like playing Warhammer with your mates. Obviously, we've got that relationship with the Italian team anyway, so like playing against them is always fun. Like, we love playing against you guys. But Belgium, this is the first time we've properly played against you, and for this to be so chilled for a final was insane Warhammer. It was so fun. Like, me and Thomas had a great game, even if he was playing Cathay. It was just super chilled. Like, we were... Bear in mind, this is the final table. We were one of the last games going. The judges were sat there watching us play, and I forgot to do something. I forgot to shoot a gyrocopter, and I was sat there, and I'm like, "It's all right, it's too late." And he's like, "No, you can go back." And I was like, "No, I forgot about it." And then he forgot to shoot a cannon, and I was like, "No, you go back and shoot the cannon." And he was like, "No, you know what? It's fine. I forgot." And to have that, when you're not clamoring to try and get one up on each other, was so refreshing. And I think that's definitely something that is coming through in the old world. I like, especially all of the teams that we played against, everyone, the sportsmanship was absolutely insane. But we knew that this round was going to be really, really hard. Sorry, I kind of like kind of segued away then. But yeah, we knew that this was going to be a really hard round, playing for the win. We managed to get the problems with pairings, and I've tried to explain this before, is I think that I've done a good pairings. You think that you've done a good pairings. Someone's fucking wrong. That's the problem. But normally it kind of turns out to be like 50-50, and there'll be like one or two swing games. That's the thing. Because we went into this, we thought we had quite good pairings. What about you, Arvid? What was your kind of opinions on the pairings going into it?
Well, to be honest, I mean, for people who never had a team tournament before, after the pairings, every team has like that 20 seconds that they have with the team around, you shout something. Like, when we went in the other room, because if you play on table 1 at WTC, you get a separate room. So it's just a room for the two teams who play the finals, right? So we went out of that room, and like everybody was like, "We've got them. Like, this is, we have the pairing that we wanted to have." So we were actually so confident that it was going to go well, which is good, right? Because if you start like that at a round, your game is already a little bit less stressful, more relaxed, because you feel that you are in a good position. And I obviously imagine, Richie, that you had the same on the other side of the room where you had your little team call. But no, we felt well, quite good about it, actually. And to be honest, you say, well, we both thought it was good and somebody is wrong. Well, if you look at the final score, 84-76, that is one game of basically 4 points difference, right? 4 points that we lost, that you gained. That's the 8 points difference in total here. So that is super, super close. I mean, obviously it was the final and it determines who won the tournament. But if this was the first round, we would have probably both concluded this is a draw, right? This is like the margin that you would call a draw game. So yeah, but we felt good about it. And during the matches actually as well, right? Because I remember I was playing Tom, and our coach was actually running from one place to another. And maybe one thing that I want to add to that as well is that the role of a coach is so fucking important. We underestimated that so much. But if a team does not have a coach, it's almost impossible, especially in an 8-man tournament, to do rights, right? Because you just don't know what happens on the other table. So our coach during the England match was running around and looking at all the things, and so was, I think Alex is his name, right?
Alex,
or the English coach. And at a certain point, he comes to Tom, and he's there with his little notepad to like ask Tom, "So what are you doing?" And they're like whispering some things, and I hear Tom say, "Yeah, it's gonna be bad. I think it's a 15-5 for Arvid." And he was counting. So Tom had this. Actually, everybody in the Team England had these nice little crayon boards or whatever you call them, where you like do the tally for the objectives. And I actually saw that Tom, while he was saying to the coach what the scoring was he was counting his tally on his board, and he made a math mistake. So I saw him actually count one row double. That ended up and I was, even though he thought that it was a 15-5, I knew that was not the case at that point. But I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to let him stress out a little bit about that 15-5. But I knew it wasn't there. So I started looking around on the other tables, and everybody was like, oh, it's Droy, this and that. Even Thomas against you, Richie, until turn 4 or 5, I think you didn't lose that much. So he was like, oh shit, I should have had like a 15 or a 16 here, but it looks more like a 10 or an 11 or something like that. So we started to feel being in a worse position. Everybody wanted to push more. And I guess, well, that's actually what Pierre told you in the video that you did with him, Richie, as well. But that's where we started making some mistakes, right? We pushed where we shouldn't have. And well, that resulted actually in us losing some things here and there, which is that 4 or 8 point difference.
Yeah, like I think like Pierre's game into Scott was like quite a big one for that. Like Pierre probably wouldn't have done that play, which cost him that game. But yeah, no, it was crazy. It was such a tight round. There was stuff happening everywhere that shouldn't have been happening. Like games were just flipping left, right, and center. Like it was crazy. It was such a good round. Super proud of the team. And yeah, like you said about coaches, I think it's quite an interesting fact that all of the top 3 had support staff there. Obviously, a big shout out to Alex, our team manager. Without him, we couldn't have got where we got. And also for Mickey, like obviously you were non-playing captain and coaching while you were there. So the top 3 teams had those support structures. And I think that's very important for all of the teams going forward who want to play in the next year's one.
Yeah. So, yeah, listen, one thing before I let Mickey go, while you guys were talking about the game, I went through the partial results and I'm like, it's insane to see that Arvid, your team only lost on 3 tables because you lost 3 games, you draw 1 and you won 4 games, but England managed to snatch the victory that was needed because remember, only 2 points lead, basically tied walking into the match. So every point counted. And when I look at the game that you guys were referring now, Scott versus Pierre, ended up 17-3. And what Richie was saying is like probably he went for a push because it was like, okay, it's a final, we gotta try, you know. But maybe if he didn't try, he could have saved maybe those 3-4 points. I don't know about the game, but and then maybe would have been a draw or maybe a couple of points for you, and that the result might have been different. So it's amazing and so fascinating and it's so enticing to me to really get the little, you know, details and shades of gray in these games. It's like the level's so high that every single move really matters.
It was really a round of swings. I remember at a certain point, I think I was in round turn 5 against Tom, and he just lost the balloon, right? And I actually was at the point where I could push, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna look around. Our coach was very busy. I'm gonna look, and I come at the table of Charlie and John Roy, our Tomb King against Richie, your Vampire Count player, and Charlie. Is an amazing aggressive player. Actually, every game that I saw from him, he was basically in the opponent's deployment zone. So that was the case here again. And I see John Roy is actually, if you would look at the list, he's playing 2 flying Lich Priests with Necromancy, if I'm not mistaken. So what happens is at a certain point, Charlie's general is behind his Graveguard unit, who is in combat, so he is targetable, and John Roy flies his Lich Priests in range with his 2 Unquiet Spirits on the Vampire General. So basically, I come at the table, I see that point, and I know I am a Vampire player. I know it's game over, right? If you see that, you know the General is gonna die. Charlie's list is 2 Banshees, 2 units of Hex Rate, so a lot of very low leadership but high point cost units, right? 2 Hex Rate units and 2 Banshees together is like 500 points or even more, 700 points, I guess. So you know it's over. So I go back to my table and I'm like, I don't need to push because we have that game. Charlie is losing that match, so we actually win the round. That was the calculation that we made over there. But what happens is his Lich Priest jump. They do like 4 or 5 or 6 wounds on the general or whatever, and Charlie makes all his regeneration saves. But I didn't know that at that point, so I decided not to push. And that, well, I mean, maybe I should have pushed then, and nothing would have happened either, right? So I'm not saying that would have made the difference, but it's these little swings that actually determine this round. And it happened on the table of Scott and Pierre, where it went in Scott's favor. It went maybe a little bit in Charlie's favor on that table as well, but it could have perfectly gone the other way. Well, it's obviously a dice game, right? It could have perfectly gone the other way. And then we would have had another conversation right now. So that is what feels so good about this tournament and this round in general.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good. Just a really interesting point. So I was talking to Andreas from Team Germany, and he come up to me at the end of the first day, and he was like, "You know what? I find really interesting is we're all at this kind of level. You expect to play against someone who's just equally as good as you, right? So everyone's playing at this hyper competitive level. You know exactly what your opponent's army going to do. They know exactly what you're going to do. So suddenly it actually just becomes all about the dice, and it's quite refreshing. It's like it suddenly almost takes all of the stress out of the games because you know what you're doing, they know what you're doing, so you're just rolling dice. It's beautiful, beautiful Warhammer.
It's less mistakes for sure, right?
For Italian, the part of rolling dice it's not so so relaxing, but
I see.
Honestly,
I see. Mickey's getting very sad. He's like, yeah, those dices.
I know, you know. But the thing that I loved most of the tournament around the dice is that I was not rolling them.
Yeah, right.
Because I always play armies that are really dice dependent in a way that is unhealthy for my body. Okay. Just like Wood Elf or something like that are testing without rerolls.
Yeah,
Literally,
because you're a masochist. If you play
yeah,
Wood Elves now, you're a masochist.
literally everything. No, I'm playing. I'm playing Tom Kings at the moment because Wood Elves are quite unplayable. That
Yes.
and that's the motive that I was not playing the tournament. Indeed, as you said, the part of coach is super important. Okay, and I think that a captain is good when he found 8 players that are better than him, in my opinion. Okay, and if you can manage to have 8 players that are better than you and you are a strong player, you're going to have a very strong team in by your side. Uh, Furthermore, I played in Tow. At the moment, I played just TK and Wood Elf. Wood Elf are unplayable at the moment, in my opinion, but someone will discourage this thing against me, and we are going. I was going to play TK, but Ricardo is way better TK player than me. It's I think it's our first in ranking in Italy, or the second altogether with Samuele. So I had no doubt about that, and I said, okay, I'm going to coach. Also because I was able to play, I think, 6 army on 8 of my players, and that's a plus because you don't know if a player takes an hernia 2 days before the tournament, just like happened to
Expert.
Matteo,
Yeah.
because Matteo was playing like that, not for a paralysis or something like more, because he had an hernia and wasn't able to put the arm down. So I was always on I don't know, let play Matteo or let him to rest a little bit during the whole tournament. So I think that is super important to have coaches. It's super important to have reserves, just like England did, because there was Ward. I don't know.
Yeah. So it was Jack Ward, but Mop.
Jack Ward. That was doing the sub. So it's super important in this.
Yeah. No, amazing. I think for everybody watching, really, I would say this is a candidate to be the best episode in our podcast,
yeah.
in our channel so far. I think having the opportunity to interview the 3 captains of the 3 top nationals teams at the moment in Warhammer. And let me say one thing: if you guys are here today celebrating 3 awards on such a competitive tournament, it means that the player base in England, Belgium, and Italy is really high. And this brings me to the last topic, and then I think we can wrap up, which is like some of the, not letdowns, but like some of the teams that really were like surprisingly kind of below expectations. I just played a round of Warhol against someone from Germany team, not Andreas, like someone else. I can't remember the name. Thomas maybe, and he said, "Yeah, dude, like we messed up the first 2 games, because even us, in reviewing the live coverage in day 1, we were like, what's happening with Germany? You know, I was shocked." And I was also, sad a little bit. You know that I have 2 hearts. It's like my Italian heart, which is the number 1, but I'm also have like a part of US because I live here since 10 years. And I was also sad to see that, the US team lacked a little bit, even though they managed to do as I was, hoping for. Like a match against Italy was not table 1, was table 4, I think, T5. But they got overwhelmed by Italy, and I was like, Germany and USA to me were really like the 2 national teams that were like kind of like I was hoping to see them a little bit higher in the rankings.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised with both of them, really. Like when we were going through and doing the matrices for Germany, they probably had some of the lists that we felt the trickiest going into. So we kind of based a lot of our force around like evasion and shooting and kind of stuff like that. And obviously they took such big Death Stars. And what was it you said earlier? Like the no fuck bricks or something. What was the saying? Yeah, like there was so so there's like so many lists like that we almost probably would have struggled playing into Germany. So on one hand, I wanted to play into them, and on then the other, I'm quite glad we didn't actually. And then with USA, obviously there was obviously the US managed to win the WTC online, but then kind of didn't factor into 1.5. Obviously, I spoke to Corey about this, and we are trying to help the US community now grow, and hopefully we'll be able to flourish from this point and then bring a much more kind of like cohesive team to the next one. I think the one issue that US had is everybody took singles lists and probably didn't look too much into that outside meta, because like the USA is a massive place, right? But over this side, as we all know, the meta changes like even the 100 miles in between countries. So you kind of need to keep on top of that, which I know that the command structure in the US are doing now. So I think the US will start to grow and flow by 2026 for sure.
Yeah, and we're gonna have like an interview happening soon with one of the most important tournament organizers in the US, which is Andy Garcia from Monsters Air Production. They work with Frontline Gaming, which is very close with GW. They organize all the major GW events, where GW also has like official support with 40K and everything. So we're gonna have like an interview with them, because that's really where we need to come together as a community in the States. It's not easy, right? It's a continent. It's not a single nation. So it's not easy to get there, but Richie, you said it very well, and thanks a lot. Like Corey
it started. It started now. That's the thing. It's really nice to see the Discord start growing. Like I know obviously Belgium's got the Discord, like your community is absolutely lovely and it's filled with amazing players. Like love you guys. And then Italy as well. Like you got a great community. And if you can start building that in the US as well, then it can only get positive. It can only grow from here. And it is difficult because of how big you are. But on the plus side, you don't actually have loads of old world players. Like I think on Old World rankings, so just kind of the amount of US players, I think there's like 1,000, is it like 1,400 active players in tournaments? Like England, we've got 1,900 active players. So considering how big you are, it's a slightly more close-knit community. So you could fill up that Discord easier and get it like organized a little bit easier as well. So I think that would be good. As soon as it starts to grow, amazing. It's going to be really good.
So at the same time, I also think that the WTC that just passed was for some of these nations, as you point out, Andrea, perhaps a little bit of a wake-up call that can now accelerate these communities, right? For the US, it was definitely when I was talking to us, for example, after the tournament, they say, yeah, we underestimated the meta. I like you correctly say, Richie, it can even change within Europe from country to country, right? You can literally, I always made the joke, but it's actually true. If you look at the vampire counts lists, the vampires that bring the double terrorgeist, those are in the meta that don't have a lot of cannons, right? That's basically how it works. So you could clearly see those discrepancies and those differences between those countries. But I think these things are actually good for all communities, because on the other side, we're talking now about countries that are maybe a little bit of a, I don't want to say letdown or disappointment, but that scored a little bit less than perhaps some people would have expected. The same thing is true for some other countries. For example, when we were doing the pairings, we were looking at England, USA, Italy, Poland, you name it. We never looked at Denmark, for example.
Hell of a team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hell of a team. They played great. We had great match, third round of day one for us. It was a great round. But we fucked up the pairings because we weren't prepared into that, because we unrightfully assumed that we would probably not face that team, right? And that was totally incorrect from us. So a wake up call for Belgium.
Yeah, we had a very different opinion of Denmark, actually. Like, I think their lists were quite similar to the English meta. So we were scared shitless of those lists. So our pairings, every time that I don't know if I've spoke to you about this before, but every time me and Tom practiced the pairings, England lost into Denmark. We lost every practice round and then somehow managed to flip it on the day. But yeah, very, very good players as well.
We were totally afraid of Denmark because we knew that Denmark had good players since time of 7th edition, 6th edition. They were always fighting for the first place against Italians and Poland at that time. And so I said, it's impossible that no one survived the 10 years stop of AOS. So there will be someone that is going to play well. And there will be a captain that is deep in the game from 20 years, more or less. I think maybe 30, because their captain was really, really, really an experienced guy, veteran of the game. We were very afraid of that. In my opinion, I think that both US and Germany are made of a lot of online players, okay? That plays more online than
on the table.
Okay. For example, Fred said to me that he had two players that they do not own a single miniature.
Exactly. They never played before on the table.
That is the impact on your way to play from the world to the real table. And your first match on the real table is WTC first match.
Yes.
I don't know,
it's
guy.
Like Italy or England, it's or Belgium. It's like, oh my god, yeah, it's not gonna be good.
I think Germany first round lost with Spain.
Yeah.
If we can recall.
Yeah.
USA to the Netherlands, I think. Yeah.
I think it's really difficult to do that. And USA lost against
Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that Netherlands and Germany are more or less at the same level. And indeed, they played the last round and they were very close, 3 points against. And I think that the USA was more or less at the same level. But Netherlands start better and made a consistent travel through the tournament because they are IRL player most. And Germany had this problem. And Andreas said to me, we've got some players that are not used to play in the real life, and it's a big deal to have something like that. Yeah. Also, the fact that Andreas give up for captain 2 weeks before the tournament makes really a tough call for Fred to become captain at 2 weeks from the tournament, and it's difficult. And in the other way, for the USA, I have to call them that they were devastated from the jet lag. I think that they were totally devastated from the jet lag.
Yes,
I think that
Phil told me that. Phil was also sick.
He was super sick. We thought he wouldn't make it until Sunday evening. So
I think that he was in very very other end to the backgrounds of TK. He was like a living dead in during the World Tournament. It was not so well. Okay. And I think that they paid a lot also that kind of thing, because they seems to me that they were tired. I don't know. They don't have the energy to play the game. I don't know that the impression that they gave to me during our match, but also during the time of pause between the matches. They were always super.
Low energy.
Not like Americans anyway, right?
No, but for example, before our matches, Richie, you went to your room talking about the pairings, reviewing the things, and we do the same thing outside, smoking a cigarette and something like that.
Looking at you from the balcony.
Yeah, of course.
I see you, man.
I think that I challenged you and you refused the challenge.
Impossible. Joao never refused the challenge.
I proposed to him to resolve the match.
Are you sure? But he has the X.
But not me. In the old way, he can nominate a champion, and I will nominate my champion. That was Riccardo Rosi, of course, my champion for that.
Giusto. I agree.
Well, we did that though, didn't we? So
yeah, you did it, but with dice, no good.
Okay, guys. What can I say? Thanks, everyone.
Sorry, Andrea. I have to how can I say, to reveal that England was cheating during the World Tournament, because the England player were not able to drink more than 1 beer per day.
I don't remember this.
In my opinion, is cheating. In my opinion, is cheating. And Richie, tell the truth. The team was in their room before 11 o'clock both days.
Yeah, no, everyone was. Yeah. So
that's a pro attitude, bro. That's great. That's how you.
That is iron discipline. Nobody believed that would have been. But we were before the tournament. We were like, because we brought Belgian beers for all our opponents, right, to give away, and we were like, okay, we'll just give this to the English, and well, I mean, they'll drink it and we'll win the tournament. That's basic. That was the strategy. But you guys were so disciplined. Like, none of those beers were open before the end of the last game.
Michele, we try in Modena to break this rule.
I mean, that'll be fun. We're coming for fun. I'm going to be smashing the entire event. I'm going to be naked. It's going to be fun.
Amazing. So, guys, we've come to the conclusion. So just a few call outs before. Number one, you have to like this video, 100 like per video minimum, and subscribe to the channel. And you have to go and subscribe to Richie's channel as well, and put like to all of his videos. He has amazing stuff. It's a great channel. It's like it really sets the standard. Miki, I want to call out to anybody who's interested in having a sneak peek of the way we do stuff in Italy, why craftsmanship is so great in Italy. Have a look at allthetilian.it. We're going to put the link in the description. That's the portal of our Italian Federation of Warhammer the Old World. Yeah. It's a piece of art. And it sets, in my opinion, a standard for everybody who wants to kind of structure the tournament and competitive scene. I'm gonna bring this up to the US as Richie was facilitating as well. Arvid, anything you want to call out for Belgium? Anything for anybody who's watching? Like,
Well, to be honest, no, we don't have public platforms and stuff like that. But we're looking forward. We're going to Modena as well next month, so
We're
we're looking
expecting.
forward to see everybody there and just share some dice and Belgian beers in real life.
Okay.
amazing.
You're welcome.
Great. Okay. So thanks everybody. Thanks Richie. Thanks Arvid. Thanks Michele. Albits, it was a great episode.
Great
and,
episode. I think we set a new standard. We have
Yes.
we have a great captains here to bring us the knowledge of the team championship. Thank you
And
very
we
much.
do have some great events that are happening. Richie, like, go ahead.
Yeah, can I just say something before I go? So basically today we got in and announced all of the new Team England. So we've been expanding. We've got a designated online team now as well. So we've come up to, I think we've got like 24 members in Team England now. So we've got big pools where we can take people from events and stuff. So I'd just like to say a massive congratulations to all of the people that made Team England this year. And a massive congratulations to all of the people who helped us win last year, whether that be the players or the people behind the scenes, or whether that be the admin coaches. You guys did absolutely amazing. And I'd also just like to say a massive congratulations to every single other team that played at the WTC. You're all amazing. We might be there going, oh, this and that and all that kind of stuff, but the standard of play was so high. It was brilliant. It was amazing. And thank you all, and for your coverage as well. So I'd just like to say a massive congratulations to everyone, and for the Old World community. You're great, honestly.
Yes,
Thank you
we
very
rock.
much.
Thanks everybody. We're gonna see you soon with the next episode. Thanks.
Bye.